Oh, hey there, gentle listeners. This is your buddy, Herb the Wizard, and I'll be ready in just a minute. Just let me find it on the dial.
Gonna find a cave for me and you. Oh, yeah. Where we can sing and play if we want to. Far away on a hidden hill.
Well, there we go. This is it. Get ready. We're gonna start the show. Well, hi there, everybody, and welcome to this, our 58th episode of the Grubby Cup Show. I'm still not quite up 100%, but this is your friend, Up the Wizard, and I just want to say thanks for tuning in. And now it's time to listen to a little bit of the wonderful and delightful Kelly Erickson, currently playing with Teaser.
He got some seeds to grow, he'll keep you in the know. Variety to claim, so baby, what's his name? He's the man to know. He'll make your garden grow. Grubby Cup's his name. He's the man who'll make a change.
Hello there, gentle listeners. This is your roving bard, Leaf Malone, reporting on the Grow with Grubby Cup show, brought to you by DFZ Radio at dfzradio.com. And here they are, the buds of the circle table. Oh, see, it is I, Sancho Banza. Good evening. I'm Alfred the Dungeon Keeper. Hi there, friends. This is the Irreverent Joe. And I'm Herb the Wizard. Psst, it's me, Vinny the Viper, the Sheriff of Rotting Puck. And I am your host, the Green Knight, Grubby Cup Stash. Thank you for joining us here on the Grow with Grubby Cup show. Brought to you by the good folks over at DFZ Radio at dfzradio.com. Thank you for tuning in again. This is the 58th episode of the Grow with Grubby Cup show. I'm your host, Grubby Cup Stash. As you can hear, my voice still isn't quite back yet, but at least it's a little less screwed up. Before I forget, I want to mention a couple of community events type things. The Maximum Yield Indoor Garden Expo is coming up. It'll be on March 7th and 8th at the Washington State Convention Center. It'll run the Saturday, which is the 7th, and that's the industry only day. And then it'll be open to the public on Sunday, which is the 8th. And I'll be there. So if you see me, don't be bashful. Come by, say hi. I'd like to meet you and see you and say hi and all that good stuff. I really enjoy meeting people at these kind of events. It's pretty much why I go to these kind of events. On Saturday, before the show, I'll be emceeing the panel discussion. So if you are an industry individual and you'll be at the Max Yield show, come by a little early and check that out. I'll also, hopefully, my voice will be back, whether it is, whether it isn't. I'm going to try to get some more interviews with folks that seems to go over well. And so if you're going to be at the show and you have something to say, come find me and I'll see about getting you an opportunity to say whatever it is you want to say. No promises, but we'll give it a shot. Also coming up on the 21st, Urban Garden Center, Portland will be having a Customer Appreciation Day. And then in April, on the 17th in New York, Mike's Nursery will be having a Customer Appreciation Day. And then April 18th, Urban Roots Garden Supply will be having a Customer Appreciation Day. If you would like to find out more about these events, or if you would like to just keep an eye on upcoming events, if you go to grubbycup.com on the front page, along with the Grow Tag Contest and Hydroponic Directory, there's a listing of upcoming events. If you know of a hydro store that's having an upcoming event, please feel free to let me know so I can add them to the list. By the way, if you are planning on going to the Max Shield show in Washington and you don't have tickets yet, let me know. I have a few tickets. So get a hold of me. Give me a buzz at grubbycup@gmail.com or through the contact information at grubbycup.com, and we'll see what we can do about getting you tickets to get into the show. While we're on the same page, on the Grow Tag giveaway, we're going to start doing another series of giveaways. It was popular last year, so hopefully it'll be popular again this year. I'll give you more information as it becomes available. If you are a manufacturer or a distributor and you would like to contribute a prize to the Smokies Prize Pit / Grow Tag Contest, please get a hold of me and we'll see if we can make arrangements. For those of you that just want to win cool stuff, stay posted. We'll be announcing what cool stuff that we'll have to give away and how you can get it. Speaking of manufacturers and distributors, I want to send a couple of special shout outs. One to Donnie over at My CO2 and another over to Dre at the Dewey Mister folks. I would not be surprised to hear one or both of them on the show here coming up in the next few weeks. So keep an ear out for that. And while we're kind of sort of talking about the stuff I got going over at grubbycup.com, on the sales rep store visit, customer relations management type side, which isn't open to the public, so got to tell you what's behind there right now. On the store visit software, it's been improved. It's got to-do lists. You can email your recent activity. You can email your to-do lists. Keep track of what stores you visited. Make follow-ups. And just generally make it an easier way to take notes when you're making a store visit. So if your company is interested, or you are interested, we are almost to the point where we're going to be looking for beta testers. So get a hold of me, and I can at least tell you about it. Good evening. This is Alfred the Dungeon Keeper. I just wanted to remind you that spring is in the air. Oh, hey, Alfred. I didn't know you were up and around yet. It sounds like you're getting over whatever this flu thing is that's going around. Yeah. Well, you see, I have some experience with plagues, and as such, I tend to bounce back rather quickly. Well, cool. Hopefully that means that we'll be hearing from the other buds of the circle table here before too long. I think Sancho is going to be the last one to show up. He's not looking real great, but even for a cockroach. Yeah. April is not long away. It might be a good time to start thinking about spring planting now, so that when it's time for spring planting, you have a plan. Yeah, I'm a big fan of plans myself. Yes, that's why I like to keep things handy, like duct tape, tops, gloves, sharp things, and being prepared is a good thing. You may want to start taking a look at what kind of seeds you want to plant this year, because in several places, spring's going to be here in just a couple of months. And to get a jump start on some of your plants, you can start them indoors before it's time to set them outdoors. Check your particular plant. Some transplant better than others, and of course there are different planting times. But in a traditional spring planting type scenario, you can get your starts going indoors with your cuttings or seeds or what have you, so that when it's time to put them outside, they'll already have a jump start. Yes. I know many things that get started with a jump. I hope you're talking about cars, Alfred. And now for a nursery rhyme. Little Dick, he was so quick. He tumbled over the timber. He bent his bow to shoot a crow and shot the cat in the winder. I don't think I want to know what part of a cat's a winder. Frank, turn the crank. His mother came out and gave him a spank and knocked him over the riverbank. Yeah, I don't know if it's that nursery rhymes used to be a lot dirtier than they are now, or if it's just the way you say it. Last one. Lemonade made in the shade, stirred with a spade by an old maid. Now for a few words from our sponsors. The Grow with Grubby Cup show is brought to you in part by 1 foot in front of the other travel, put 1 foot in front of the other and repeat as needed. Also brought to you by the letter J. You're listening to the Grow with Grubby Cup show. I'm your host, Grubby Cup Stash. You're listening to us on dfzradio.com.
You're listening to DFZRadio.com.
Hey, brah, have you seen the new kind nutrients from Botanicare? It's kind of a big thing.
No. What's up with that?
Well, I was totally pulling a Dawn Patrol, chilling with some honeys, when this troll is like, yo, I heard your garden is total weak sauce. And I was like, as if my garden is hella gnarly bodacious. And then he was like, brah, if you want your stuff to be like Mondo Nar, you need to hook up with Botanicare's kind nutrients.
Okay, would you be so kind as to tell me what you're talking about?
Only the most bitchin' nutrients to shred a grow since the invention of water, bruh. Kind is on the serious, bruh. There's 1 part base, 1 part grow, and 1 part bloom. Kind is super rad because it's completely customizable so you can use it with any type of plant and medium, bruh. And what's wicked, boss, is that the proprietary kind formulas eliminate the need to add separate calcium and magnesium supplements to compensate for water quality or specific grow medium.
Rad. That sounds like my kind of base nutrient.
Totally. And Kind Grow has all these primo minerals and like super top secret blend of natural stuff so you can get a seriously lush canopy, right? And with the Kind Bloom, you get like this major hookup of phosphorus and potassium, but like in a totally righteous proportion so you get increased biomass and flower initiation. And what's even more awesome is you can adjust the levels of base, grow, and bloom to meet the needs of your medium, plants, and growth stage. You could say it's for any kind you grow. It's totally sweet.
It was very kind of you to tell me about this. So I should, totally hop in my Woody and cruise down to my local hydro hookup and score some kind nutrients from Botanicare?
Like what? New from Botanicare. Kind base, grow, and bloom. The fully customizable line of nutrients developed for the modern grower. For more information, contact your local hydro store or go online to Botanicare.com.
What kind will you grow?
Your garden's looking far out. You must listen to DFZRadio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Grow with Grubby Cup show. I'm your host, Grubby Cup Stash. You're listening to us on the DFZ Radio Network at dfzradio.com. Welcome back. I'd like to talk just a little bit about testing things, samples of things. For instance, catnip in a double blind, what a double blind is and how to set it up. First one, you might want to use it. Let's say, for example, you were growing cosmic catnip and another variety of catnip, and you wanted to figure out which one your kitties liked better. What you can do is you can set up a double blind to test it, and the intention is that it will encourage accurate results that aren't skewed by, fancy names, that kind of a thing. So, for example, if you have 2 different types of catnip and one's got a cool name and your kitty likes the name, then they may have a tendency to rate that one higher than a generic named one, even though they're both, even though the generic one might actually be better. So to eliminate that prejudice, what what you do is you don't tell the person doing the testing what the cool name is, to eliminate that prejudice. And if the subject isn't aware, the person doing the testing isn't aware of what kind it is, then that's a blind test. And that's a step in the right direction, but part of the problem is that the person that's recording the results can, whether they mean to or not, influence. For example, if the person giving the test knows that one is Cosmic Kitty and one is a generic kitty, catnip, then as they're administering the test and taking the notes and handing it to the person, etc., whether they mean to or not, they can transmit some information with that, because it's, do you like number 1 better, or do you like number 2? And again, this is intentional or unintentional, either way. So in order to remove that bias, you use what's called a double blind, which basically just means that the person doing the evaluating doesn't know which one's which, and the person interacting with them also doesn't know. And one way that you can set this up is if you have some, identical containers, something like, mason jars, whatever, and putting to originally set this up, what you want to do is write down the names of what each one is on identical looking pieces of paper. So, in one you'll put Cosmic Kitty and the other one you put generic. And then fold that paper that says, fold the paper that says Cosmic Kitty and tape it to the underside of the jar or the lid, whatever's convenient. And then put the matching, put the note that says Cosmic Kitty, attach that to the jar where you can't read it, and then put the Cosmic Kitty in it. Close that up, take the generic one, put the, piece of paper that says generic on it, and attach that to the jar in the same way, and then fill up that with the generic catnip. Until at this point, you should wind up with 2 jars that are pretty much identical looking. Particularly if you don't look at the stuff itself, if you just look at the top of the jar lids, what have you. And then find some way to randomize the 2. Get a friend to spin them around, mix them up, whatever. And then number each jar. Since you don't know which jar is which, one of them will be 1 and the other one will be 2. And then as you hand out your samples, as you take your notes, as you do all your testing and that, you just refer to them as either, sample 1 or sample 2. And the nice thing about this is because that way you can just concentrate on the results. Once the results are done and collected and that, then you can go back to the jar marked 1 and open the piece of paper and find out which one it was. And then you can do the same with the other, although by process of elimination, you probably know which one the other one is. The nice thing about this is it alleviates a lot of worry about, the one's got a cooler name, or, the history of one, or, whatever else. And it really does help a lot in keeping, evaluation type tests fair, because that way it's just about the test and it's just about the results. And that's why that The double-blind testing is frequently done in studies, in cooking competitions, in baking competitions. A variety of competitions use it because it helps keep things fair. That's also why, ideally, it's a lot of times it's difficult if you don't have a partner or two. But ideally, if you're doing a side-by-side comparison between, say something where you used a new additive and something where you didn't, it would really be nice if the person that was recording which one was doing better, that sort of thing, was not aware of which one got treated with what. Somebody obviously has to know which one got treated with what because they have to treat the plants. And a lot of times, if it's a solo operation, then you just have to try to be impartial. But if you're part of if you and your buddies have a garden, what have you, again, you can kind of set up a similar type scenario where, you have one friend that, is doing the applying the treatment, and then someone else at a different time will come along, and make notes and give their opinion as to which plant is doing better. So that at the final results, you can reveal and figure out whether or not that, new additive, whatever, was actually worth it, or if it's you want it to be worth it, so you're skewing the results a little bit, which is a natural human tendency. And blind studies and double-blind studies isn't something that I've come up with personally. It's a matter of course. Feel free to look it up on the internet to find out more about it. You're listening to the Grow with Grubby Cup show. I'm your host, Grubby Cup Stash. You're listening to us at DFZ Radio at dfzradio.com or on the DFZ YouTube channel.
Your garden's looking far out. You must listen to dfzradio.com.
Hi, and welcome to Non-Specific Hydro.
Yeah, hey, I have a buddy of mine that was telling me about a great additive.
Okay, do you remember the name?
Yeah, his name's Steve. He's a good buddy.
No, the product.
No, he told me it was a super concentrated organic enhancer. Comes in a yellow bottle.
Well, it sounds like he's talking about Floralicious Plus from General Hydroponics.
I don't think that was the name, but he also told me it was a vegan bioplant stimulator that contained vitamins, plant sugars, amino acids, seaweed extract.
Yeah, that would be General Hydroponics Floralicious Plus.
I don't think that's it, man. He told me it was something like Dora Vicious Flush or something, and he said it was like an organic supplement that could also be used in vegging or flowering, and it was compatible with hydro, soil, and cocoa.
Yes, that would be General Hydroponics Floralicious Plus.
Oh, hey, man, I just remembered what it's called. It's Floralicious Plus.
Oh, good. I was drawing a blank.
Floralicious Plus from General Hydroponics. Ask for it by name.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Grow with Grubby Cup show. I'm your host, Grubby Cup Stash, and you're listening to us on dfzradio.com. And now it's time for Buds of the Circle Table.
Oh, Senor Grubby Cup. Senor Grubby.
What is it, Sancho?
Oh, Senor Grubby Cup. I don't think I like being a cockroach anymore.
Oh, Sancho, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, that's okay, 'cause I don't like it any less either. Hand me that leg. Arriba!
Sancho.
Oh, don't blame me. I just trying to get a leg up on life.
Hello there, villagers, villagettes, and various vipers from around the world. This is Leaf Malone, your wandering bard reporting. And now it's time for your moment of meditation.
All right, now, sit back, relax, let the worries of the day drift from your body. Focus on this moment. Focus on my voice. And breathe. In with the good air. And out with the bad air. And one more time. In with the good air. And out with the bad air. Imagine you're sitting in a field next to a running brook. In the shade of a tree, and the breeze gently flowing across the skin of your face. If you try really hard, maybe you can feel it. Let that wind take away your cares and your worries. Even if it's just for a moment, and let you catch your breath. And in with the good air. And out with the bad air. And once again, in with the good air. And out with the bad air. And as you imagine yourself sitting by the brook, you can almost hear the water splashing against the rocks. The birds in the trees, and the leaves blowing in the wind, and relax, catch your breath, and as you're ready, let go of your little brook. And return to the here and now, and collect yourself, and get ready to go on to the rest of your day, hopefully feeling just a little more refreshed. And this has been this week's Moment of Meditation.
And I suck big Dragon Balls. Yeah, it's a shame we missed the... Wait, what did you say? Oh, it's okay. The other day I was having some magical potion and I wound up watching some TV shows that I don't usually watch. And there was some cartoon shows and there was Dragon Balls on it and you gotta grab them all or something. I don't know. I was really good magical potion.
I don't know what you were watching, but you got to start watching a better class of TV, sounds like. I don't know. I asked Smokey about it, and she said that she thought they were overrated. I don't know what she meant, but she thought it was funny. Yeah, well, lady dragons find odd things funny sometimes. I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, she always after me when I tell her I like to clean off polish my crystal balls with velvet cloth, but I don't see why that's funny. It's just regular housework and maintenance. And now I'm off to go have some magical potion, because I really like magical potion. It's really good. It's good in my mouth, and it's good in my tummy, and it makes me feel tingly, and it makes me feel happy, and I really like my magical potion, and it helps me calm down just a little bit, because otherwise I get a little bit wounded up sometimes, and you can tell sometimes if I haven't had my magical potion, because sometimes I just keep talking and I talk really fast, and sometimes it's hard to understand what I'm saying, but it really doesn't matter because I'm not saying anything anyway, so I think it's about time for me to go have your magical potion. Way! Yeah, do us all a favor, Herb, and make sure that that's decaf magical potion.
Hey there, kids, cats, and countrymen. This is your friend, Herb the Wizard. And I'm here to ask you that if you like the Grow with Grubby Cup show, and I hope you do, because I like it when people like stuff. And if you like stuff, go over to our Facebook page, the Grow with Grubby Cup Facebook page, and give us a like. But only if you really like us. I wouldn't want you to fib or anything, because that's not very nice. But if you really like us, and I hope you like us, because I like you, then I hope you go over to our Facebook page and you go to Grow with Grubby Cup, and you go over there and you give us a like, because I like it when people like stuff. Oh, like magical potions. I really, really like magical potions because I'm Herb the Wizard. And I really like magical potions, and I make some really good magical potions too.
The Grow with Grubby Cup show is brought to you by
Big Bubba Bob's Bait Shack.
Don't forget your raincoat, sailor.
We got the best bargains and the best bobbers in Bingham.
Remember, don't forget your galoshes if you're gonna get wet.
We got bushels of boots and buckets of bait at Big Bubba Bob's Bait Shack.
Now, this week, for a very special treat, we have Stretch, the bongo man from outer Mongolia.
Oh, here's some drums, man. Let me play some drums in this.
Hey, Grubby Cup, I think maybe you ought to know I gave Stretch the old magic potion before he started, so, this may take a while.
I'll say this for Stretch. He has a good beat to him.
Oh, Stretch! He has very supple wrists, I think.
You. Yeah, you. I'm thinking this would probably be a good time for a little breathing exercise, if you know what I mean.
Hey, what? Who is it?
Hey, man, it's Orange Night, man. You seen Dave, man? I'm looking for Dave, man.
I'm sorry, Orange Knight. I haven't seen Dave anywhere. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen Dave.
Well, hey, man, if you see Dave, man, you gotta tell him to lay low, man, 'cause the sheriff of Rottingborg's looking for him, man.
What's the sheriff want with Dave?
I don't know, man. It's like unpaid parking tickets or something, man. It's bogus, man. Dave doesn't even have a car, man.
Well, I'll keep an eye out, and if I ever see Dave, I'll let him know. All right, man. Well, don't forget, man, if you see Dave, man, tell him I'm looking for him, man. Because I'm looking for Dave, man. All right, man, bye. Oh, by the way, man. Hey, man, if you see Dave, tell him I'm looking for him, man. Because I'm looking for him. So, Sancho, does Dave just live in the Orange Knight's head?
Oh, I think so. I think he's just a Fed Newton of his imaginarium.
Well, I think the sheriff of Nottingham may have some issues trying to collect on those parking tickets then.
As the second day chicken leftover said, curses foiled again.
Well, if Dave shows up, maybe we'll hide him in the dungeon. Hey, Alfred, you've got some folks in the dungeon already, haven't you?
Yes, I think that's a wise idea. We have Cinderella in the house, and you know how she likes to try putting things in her slipper.
I really don't think I needed to know that.
Yes. And then there was that nice lady. She's looking for a rumpled, stilted skin. Confidentially, I think she found the zombie's organ. Anyway, she claims she can spin water into something golden, but I'm not sure the details.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm too young to know the details of that.
Just remember, not everything that goes bump in the night is bad. Sometimes there are things that make you happy.
You're listening to the Grow with Grubby Cup show on DFZRadio.com.
You're listening to DFZRadio.com.
Hey, brah, have you seen the new kind nutrients from Botanicare? It's kind of a big thing.
No. What's up with that?
Well, I was totally pulling a Dawn Patrol, chilling with some honeys, when this troll is like, yo, I heard your garden is total weak sauce. And I was like, as if my garden is hella gnarly and bodacious. And then he was like, brah, if you want your stuff to be like Mondo Narnar, you need to hook up with Botanicare's kind nutrients.
Okay, would you be so kind as to tell me what you're talking about?
Only the most bitchin' nutrients to shred a grow since the invention of water, bruh. Kind is on the serious, bruh. There's 1 part base, 1 part grow, and 1 part bloom. Kind is super rad because it's completely customizable so you can use with any type of plant and medium, bruh. And what's wicked, boss, is that the proprietary kind formulas eliminate the need to add separate calcium and magnesium supplements to compensate for water quality or specific grow medium.
Rad. That sounds like my kind of base nutrient.
Totally. And Kind Grow has all these primo minerals and like super top secret blend of natural stuff so you can get a seriously lush canopy, right? And with the Kind Bloom, you get like this major hookup of phosphorus and potassium, but like in a totally righteous proportion so you get increased biomass and flower initiation. And what's even more awesome is you can adjust the levels of base, grow, and bloom to meet the needs of your medium, plants, and growth stage. You could say it's for any kind you grow. It's totally sweet.
It was very kind of you to tell me about this. So I should totally hop in my Woody and cruise down to my local hydro hookup and score some kind nutrients from Botanicare?
Like what? New from Botanicare. Kind base, grow, and bloom. The fully customizable line of nutrients developed for the modern grower. For more information, contact your local hydro store or go online to botanicare.com.
What kind will you grow?
Your garden's looking far out. You must listen to dfzradio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Grow with Grubby Cup show. I'm your host, Grubby Cup Stash. You're listening to us on dfzradio.com.
This is Leaf Malone, your wandering bard, and now it's time for Meals and Munchies.
Hello there, and welcome to this week's episode of Meals and Munchies. I have an assistant here today. This is Herb the Wizard. He's a 29th level magic user and one of the Denzians of the La Mancha Castle here at the Rainbow Valley.
I like Grubby Cup. I like meals and I like munchies. So what are we making today?
Well, I thought today we'd make some crackers.
Oh, hey, Grubby. I have a recipe for crackers. You want to hear it? Here it goes. Step 1, open the box. Step 2, eat the crackers. That's it. That's all you need. That's recipe for crackers right there.
Well, I was thinking something a little more in-depth than that.
Well, I see. That's not fancy enough for you. All right, here's the updated fancy version. Step 1, open the box. Step 2, spray on squeezy cheese. Step 3, eat the cracker.
No, Herb. No, we're gonna make crackers from scratch.
What do you mean we're making from scratch, Grubby? There's the box. You open the box, you eat the crackers. You can't get much more scratch in that, can you?
Well, yeah, actually, you can make crackers at home from scratch, and you don't need a box at all.
Yeah, that could be cool. That sounds like that'd be kind of nice after some really nice potion or something. All right, I'm game. I want to make some crackers. How do you make crackers? What do we need? And what's the first steps?
Well, the ingredients that we're going to need are 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/4 stick of butter, and 3/4 of a cup of milk.
All right, Grubby, but I already looked at my crystal ball and I saw we were going to do this, so I already have all that stuff ready. It's right here just waiting for us. We're going to make us some crackers.
Okay, well, the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, Grubby, as you know, my oven's dragon-powered, so I just kind of got a ballpark it. So I'm thinking about, 400 degrees is about, 3 scritches on the tummy?
I'd go ahead with, about 4 scritches. That ought to get it about 400 degrees.
All right, come here, Smokey. It's time to make some crackers.
Okay, first you want to mix together a cup of the flour, the teaspoon of salt, and the half teaspoon of baking powder, and mix those together so that they're, a nice little mixture and evenly spread out.
All right, Grubby. So I've got those ingredients and they're all mixed in together and they're kind of a powdery and they're mixed. Oh, better be careful. It's going to make a little snowstorm. All right, I got a cup of flour. I got half a teaspoon of baking powder and I have got a teaspoon of salt. And they're all mixed in together. Achoo! Mixed it together.
Okay, and then blend in your 1/4 cup of room temperature butter and get that mixed in. Then measure out your 3/4 cup of milk and mix an egg in with the milk in the measuring cup before you pour it in.
All right, Grubby, it makes it awful handy to be able to mix the milk and egg together in that little container. And that way you don't mess up an additional bowl. And then you just put that in. So now we got all the ingredients in there and then we mix it all up, right?
That's right, Herb. And then you're going to take that last cup of flour and you're going to mix it in 1/4 cup of it at a time. You don't want the dough to wind up being too stiff, so mix in the first 1/4 and then mix in the second. But pay attention to how thick the dough's getting when you're mixing in those last 2 quarters. If at 3/4 it's stiff enough, go ahead and stop. You want it to be a soft dough. You don't want it to be too stiff.
All right, Grubby. So now I got all mixed together and it's awful squishy and I like squishing it between my fingers. It feels good. I like it squishy.
Now, one thing that's nice is that since the baking powder is the leavening agent, it doesn't have to rise like it would if it relied on yeast. So
we can go ahead and roll that out. And you want to roll it out to about 1/16 of an inch. You want to roll it out about as thin as you can get it and still be able to move it.
Alright, Grubby, I'll roll it out really, really thin. Not so thin that it tears, but pretty close to it. Cause I'm gonna make it really thin, and that'll be a nice cracker.
What can happen is if you leave the crackers too thick, you wind up with this kind of bread jerky thing that you can chew on for a long time, and I found pretty entertaining, but didn't go over particularly well. You want a nice thin cracker so that way you can have a lot of crunch to it, but it won't be overwhelming, and it'll be easy to bite through.
Alright, Grubby, I got this rolled out until it pretty much looks like one great big cracker, and now what do I do with it?
Well, go ahead and transfer that one big cracker to a lightly oiled or lightly buttered cookie sheet. And then what you're going to do is either use a pizza cutter or a knife and go ahead and cut that into squares right there on the baking surface. Just be careful not to go too deep, and then put that in your 400-degree oven.
Alright, Grubby, well, how long should they be in the oven for?
Well, depending on how thick they are and the temperature of the oven, they take about 15 minutes, but you want to watch them close because they're going to go from a pale white to a golden brown, and once they start to turn, they go relatively quickly, so you're going to want to keep an eye on them and check them at least every 5 minutes or so.
Alright, Grubby, but you know me, I'm waiting. Here we go. Jumpers, fast forwarders! Alright, it's later now, and the crackers are a golden brown.
Now, the crackers don't have any preservatives or that in them, and I'm not entirely sure how long they'll go before they go stale, because in all honesty, I always eat them that day or the next day, so they don't stick around very long.
I can tell why. These are really, really good and they're really crunchy. And, ooh, after some nice potion, these would be really, really nice. Oh, thank you, Grubby Grub. I gotta admit, crackers that don't come from a box are pretty good, too.
Well, I'm glad you like them, Herb.
Do you have any suggestions on something we could put on them?
Sure, I think we have a little of that roast chicken left over. What you do is clean and cut. Take about 2 cups of chicken, add a half a cup of mayonnaise, add a teaspoon of mustard, and a tablespoon of pickle relish, and celery stalk. Chop them up, mash them all together, and top your crackers with it.
Well, hey, Grubby, that sounds really quick and easy to do, and that tastes really good, too. Thank you for the crackers and the chips. I'll see you next time.
This has been Meals and Munchies.
And that's about all the time we have for this week. Thank you for tuning in. You've been listening to the Grow with Grubby Cup show. I've been your host, Grubby Cup Stash. Once again, if any of you are planning on going to the Maximum Yield Indoor Garden Expo, for one, I've got some tickets, and 2, I hope to see you there. If you see me bopping around with my beard and hat, come on by and say hi. I'd love to see you. Until next week, peace, love, and
He got some seeds to grow. He'll keep you in the know. Variety to claim. So baby, what's his name? He's a man to know. He'll make your garden grow. Grubby Cup's his name. He's the man who make a change.
Your garden's looking far out. You must listen to DFZRadio.com.